Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of Britain's most trusted food brands, Greggs. Popularly known on high streets, near schools, at train stations, and inside shopping centres. For millions of people, it's breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner. But here's the real question. Is Greggs actually the safe, reliable food giant the UK trusts? Or is the truth behind the counter very different from the image on the sign? Because once you understand what's really inside the most popular items on the menu and how the business operates, you may never look at that blue and white logo the same way again. So today, we're going to break it all down. Ingredients, nutrition, customer complaints, business practices, and the bigger public health impact. Let's start with the product that made Greggs famous, the iconic sausage roll. They sell an insane amount every year, and it's become a national symbol of cheap comfort food. But most people never stop to ask a basic question. What's actually inside the sausage roll? Because when you look closely at how these products are made, the sausage isn't what people imagine. The filling is not a solid butcher-style sausage. It's typically a processed mixture, a blend of meat, fat, rusk, and seasoning designed for consistency and low cost. And here's the part that surprises a lot of people. The meat proportion is lower than the average customer assumes. The rest of the filling is made up of binders and fillers that affect the texture and stretch the product further. Now, to be clear, this doesn't automatically mean it's unsafe. It means it's engineered for mass production. And when you combine that with the nutrition numbers, you start to see what Greggs really sells. Not proper food, but high-fat, high-salt, high-craving comfort. One sausage roll sits in the same calorie range as some fast food items, and it carries a heavy amount of fat and salt for something most people treat like a small snack. And that's why many customers don't stop at one, because it's not designed to satisfy hunger the way a balanced meal does. It's designed to taste good, go down easily, and make you want more. Now, next up, let's talk about another legendary Greggs item, the steak bake. The steak bake is marketed like a proper British lunch. Tender beef, rich gravy, a golden puff pastry, a hearty, comforting meal for a couple of pounds. But once again, the reality doesn't always match the image. When people talk about steak bakes today, one complaint comes up constantly. There's barely any steak. And online, you'll see customers comparing older steak bakes to newer ones and saying the filling feels reduced, flatter, lighter, more sauce than substance. Now, from a production point of view, this makes sense. Gravy is cheaper than beef. Pastry is cheaper than beef. And when costs rise, companies protect their margins. So what happens? Customers start feeling like they're paying mostly for sauce and pastry, with a few small pieces of meat scattered inside. And nutritionally, it's still heavy. A steak bake is not a light option. It's calorie-dense, high-fat, and contains a strong salt hit. And it's very easy to eat one quickly, then still want something else. So Greggs sells it as comfort food. But when that comfort is mostly pastry, fat, salt, and gravy, you have to ask, is this really a lunch or just an engineered craving product? Now, after steak bakes, the next big conversation is usually the vegan sausage roll. When Greggs launched the vegan sausage roll, it went viral. It was everywhere. But here's the reality. Vegan does not automatically mean healthier. In fact, many highly processed vegan alternatives end up with similar nutrition profiles because they're designed to imitate the taste and mouthfeel of meat products. And that's what happens here. The vegan roll still comes wrapped in puff pastry. It still carries significant fat. It still carries a heavy salt hit. So if someone buys it thinking they're making a clean health choice, they may be disappointed. The difference is mainly the ingredients used in the filling, plant-based proteins, oils, and flavorings. Not a dramatic upgrade in health. Again, none of this means you can't enjoy it, but it does mean the marketing effect can be misleading. Now, next up, let's talk about the Greggs items people often assume are safer, the sandwiches. Greggs sandwiches are a lunchtime staple. Chicken mayo, tuna crunch, ham and cheese, baguettes. They look simple, clean, and lighter than pastries. But here's the catch. A lot of customers hear freshly made and assume that means freshly cooked ingredients prepared from scratch. In reality, many large chains operate differently. Ingredients often arrive pre-cooked, pre-prepped, sealed, chilled, or frozen, then get assembled in store. That doesn't automatically mean low quality, but it does mean the fresh image isn't what people picture. And nutritionally, some Greggs sandwiches are far from light. Certain baguettes can land in the same calorie range as a full dinner. And salt is a major issue. You can easily get close to half your recommended daily salt limit from a single sandwich or baguette, depending on the fillings. That's because processed meats, cheese, sauces, and bread all contribute sodium. So yes, it's convenient, but convenience comes with a trade-off. A lot of these items are built for taste, shelf life, and speed, not health. Now next up, breakfast. Because Greg's breakfast is where a lot of people quietly build a daily habit. Greg's breakfasts are everywhere. Bacon rolls, sausage rolls, breakfast baps, hash browns, coffee, cheap. And for commuters, almost automatic. Look at the nutrition patterns. A Greg's breakfast can hit extremely hard. Processed meats like bacon and sausage carry a heavy salt load, so you can consume a huge chunk of your daily sodium early in the morning without realizing. The bigger danger isn't one Greg's breakfast, it's the frequency. None of this means you can't enjoy Greg's again. But it does mean you should understand what you're really buying, because once you know the truth, you can decide whether it's worth it. This is Food Truth UK, exposing what's really on your plate.